Good morning, everybody. What's up, Pro Pyro? Happy Saturday. It's an early one today. I'm giving myself the afternoon off. I've got stuff just to catch up on around the house and, you know, things that I have been putting off because I've been prioritizing the garden. So, thought I'd hop on, have some coffee, do a little more morning routine with you guys. So thanks for being here, Pro Pyro. Hope you're having a great Saturday so far. All right, first thing I gotta do is empty my dehumidifier. We are at 68% right now. It is full. So when I come in here in the mornings, so I haven't been here this morning. This is my first time in the grow tent today. So we are going to do pretty much my morning routine. So good morning, buddy. Happy Saturday. It's always a beautiful day in the grow tent. What's up, my fizz? What's up, Brian? Good morning. So we're gonna kick it early morning style today. Hope you guys all have your coffee or something to sip on while we hang. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is empty the dehumidifier. I've got a bucket right outside the grow tent where I just pour the receptacle or the reservoir into, and then we pop it back in. So this is how much water collects over 6 hours. It's actually quite a bit of water. I guess there's a lot of moisture in the air. Right, so done. All right, so turn that back on. Wait for the compressor, make sure it's working. Yes, we're good. So yeah, all right, we've got the dehumidifier going. I've also got this little countertop one. It is so freaking slow. It takes about a week just to get 1.2 liters of moisture out of the air, which is kind of ridiculous. But if you're, you know, in a very small space or whatever, like if it's for just a bedroom or something small, maybe a little less than 200 square feet. I bought this one on Amazon. Maybe I'll do a review on it because the reviews were so great on Amazon that it led me to purchase it. And now I'm not so happy with it. Not that I'm not happy. It's just, it says that it's for 300 square feet and this tent is 200 square feet. And so there should be no reason why it's not able to maintain a certain level of humidity. And then I thought, okay, if I use the big unit to try to play catch up, and then I just use this little guy to maintain, but unfortunately it's not powerful enough. So it's still good to have, you know, if I'm like right next to the strawberries to create a very dry environment right there. I don't know if that's how humidity works, but I think I could put it in a specific spot if I want to remove the humidity from a small area. Happy Saturday, Les. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a wonderful start to their weekend. I have some stuff to do this afternoon. Nothing crazy. Just got to catch up on some stuff during the day, and thought I'd give myself the afternoon off today and just hop on this morning to touch base with you guys, show you guys what's new, and take you guys through my morning routine. So as I said, it's the first time I'm in here today. It's the first time I stepped into the grow tent. So first thing I do every morning is empty the dehumidifier. Then we head over to the seedlings. I check the seedlings before the actual plants just to make sure I'm on track with everything. So These are romaine as well as kale seedlings, and they're still alive, so we didn't kill them overnight, so that's great. They're just sitting in a tray with some water, and we got the little root hanging out the bottom there. So these are kale, everything else is romaine here. There's a few things per sponge. So, and then we've got in the little cubes, this is all romaine here, same thing. This little guy still don't have any roots yet, but maybe if I'm patient we will. And the zinnias are doing just fine in the water. I might have to add maybe a little more H2O2 for some oxygen, but yeah. And then these strawberry clones, I don't know what I'm doing with them. The leaves are all crispy. Are they done? Did I F it up? I don't know. This one is still alive, like even though it's wilted. Once it starts to establish more roots, it will come back. I've seen it happen before. But this one, I'm not so sure. And yeah, so we're gonna see what happens with the rest. We got some stuff germinating still in here. Some cucumbers that may have sprouted, so we'll check that shortly. And then my foam collar experiment, where I'm trying to just germinate the seed in the center of the foam collar, and maybe the seedling will just grow upward, and then I won't have to do a transfer. It'll already be in foam collar. So we'll see how that goes. So those are the seedlings. I just typically either give them a spray, make sure they're nicely saturated, and make sure they're good for a few hours, because usually I come down for my live at around noon. Good morning, Main Dad. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day as well. Good mood. Just picked my first Rebel Starfighter Prime Tomato. And Pearl says that's a cool name. Yeah, that is a very cool name. Almost too cool for a tomato. Rebel Starfighter? What the heck is that? Sounds so intense. Actually makes me tired. It's a Rebel Starfighter. Too early for that tomato variety. So, yesterday after the live, I took some time. I took a couple of hours and I just blasted some music, and I cleaned the grow tent. So I cleaned up the cart, I cleaned up just everything. I had like water everywhere. I cleaned the floors, I vacuumed, I organized all my product, all my stuff. I moved the cart over so that when I walk into the grow tent, I've got more space. And I just moved the dehumidifier over as well. Cleaned all the bucket tops. I really cleaned the tomato plants up like hardcore. I got rid of a lot of waste. This was a total jungle. So I'll take you through that in a minute. But the next thing I go through and check is my grow tower. So typically I just have the grow tower lights on for my live, just because it looks cool. What up, Ogo Grown? Good morning, good morning. I was trying to see, I hope I'm not taking your morning slot, Ogo. I got some stuff going on this afternoon, so I'm doing my live this morning, but good to see you here. How are you doing? Main Dad says, I can't remember what day my daughter planted, but one of the tomatoes is yellow and green and tiger stripe. Nice. Hey, if you put your dehumidifier on a plastic shelf, you can run a hose. Yes, Josh. So this dehumidifier actually does come with a hose. I just haven't set it up yet, but I could definitely run the hose to the outside of the tent with just a larger res, and or even run it outside somehow and just let the water drain. It would be even cooler if I could drain it to my outdoor garden so that it could just water my outdoor garden. Ogo Grown, good to know, but it's so good to see you here. I'm still smiling after our last live. We had such a good time. Thank you for that. That was awesome. If you guys missed it, go ahead to Ogo Grown's YouTube page and go ahead and check out our live that we did Thursday night. We had a lot of fun. So yeah, guys, the next thing I do in the morning is check the grow tower. I mean, I just filled it yesterday. We're gonna add in some nutrients this morning, but I just pop open a net pot just to make sure we running. And there we go. There's the tower. Gotta do a little cleanup here. So yeah, we're gonna add in some nutrients there. We're gonna add in some nutrients to the buckets. And then I just go through and I check buckets, I check my plants. So we're gonna just turn these lights down here. I'm gonna go under them. Safety first, everybody. And so yeah, guys, I think either tomorrow or Monday we're gonna do the hot sauce. I will keep you posted. I'll work on that today. All right, let's see. I'm just catching up on the chat. Was it a zebra tomato? Maybe she was just grabbing seeds at the store and planting them all. LMAO. Main Dad, I think your daughter and I have a lot in common. I just pick stuff because it looks cool. I don't do any research as to whether it's suitable or not for my garden. I'm like, if it looks cool, we gonna grow it. What's up, Tristan? Good morning, or good evening to you. All the way down. All right, so we're gonna go through the buckets here. You're gonna see quite the improvement from yesterday. So if you guys remember, yesterday was brutal. I mean, this side is still kind of messy, but those plants are doing so well. I'm not ready to defoliate them. Kristen is wide awake. All right, well, welcome. Come hang, because we're gonna have a good evening, you guys. So yesterday I went and I tried to just put some more root balls on some runners last night, just to see if I can get more clones faster. So I've been working on that. Also, one change I made. So while I was really focusing on defoliating my tomatoes, I had a huge section here. You can even see the leaves are like shriveled and wilty. And I was like, what the heck is going on? They shouldn't look like that. They should be more flat like this. So actually I had the oscillating fan right here and it was way too close. It was blowing right on. So I moved it back a little bit. So we're gonna see how it does. But I see movement in all the leaves, and then I've got another fan hitting it from the other way, kind of up here, just to create air circulation throughout the whole bucket system area. So hopefully that benefits us. We'll see. And then, so that strawberry plant, we've got one clone there, one sad little clone, but we'll get there. And then, oh, I may have broken a branch here, so we're gonna have to do a little more of a tomato cleanup. But those are the tomatoes. And then I just did a light pruning of this dahlia plant. Now we've got our second flower opening, which is so cool. It almost looks, I don't know, kind of like tie-dye. So never grown aeroponic dahlias before. This is the first time, and this one is fully open today, you guys. This is it. This is as good as it's gonna get. She is beautiful. She's just, I don't know, maybe I'm dahlia'd out. I'm growing so many outdoors that if it's not super striking, then I get bored. But it is in person. It's just hard to see, but yeah, the leaves have this like very cool, I don't know, pattern on them. Would you call it variegation if it's on a petal? But yeah, they just, I don't know, it's just such a little flower. Looks like the sun. Good morning, Dottie. What is up? Hope everyone's having a great day so far. We are on a tent tour / doing my morning routine, you guys. Just checking things to make sure everything's on track. So there's a lot better airflow now for the tomatoes. I took out a lot of the overlap. These that are growing, I'm gonna have to clean that up in here. The tomatoes that are growing are gonna ripen faster now just because they're getting better light. And yeah, so hopefully that'll be better for the other plants as well, trying to just create better air circulation. And then the watermelon, we were talking about it yesterday. Is it stunted? Will it grow anymore? I think it's still growing, I'm gonna give it some more time because I don't know. I pollinated it the best I could, and I'm just gonna go back to a couple of old videos and just see, because I do think it is growing. Yeah, I don't know. It feels heavier, so, and it's hard. Like, it's not soft or anything. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I think it's still growing, but I'm not sure. And then we have our Chinese 5-color peppers, which I'm going to be working on a hot sauce. I will keep you guys posted as to when. But yeah, we've got some beautiful colors here. Perfect timing for fall. We've got the oranges, the reds, the yellows. And the leaves are changing color too. That's because I have to add in for nutrients, you guys. It's been a little while. All right, so moving on down the line, we've got our poblano pepper plant, which is back at it, producing like crazy. I've got my jalapeno and habanero, which are still stunted. They're all messed up because I shocked them with a root rinse. And then we got our bell peppers on the way. Where's that wacky one go? Oh, this whole plant here is toppled over. I need some better support, you guys, for my plants and mentally. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so yeah, we've got some bell peppers here. So this is what I do every morning, is I pretty much give myself a tent tour. I check where I'm at with everything. Do I need to action anything? Is anything urgent? Most people would think that fixing this crap is urgent. Anyways, we got some yellow peppers on the way. Thank you so much, Tristan. And Main Dad, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you have an easy day today. So yeah, guys, those are bucket system. We're going to be adding in nutrients very shortly. I tried to clean some of this side up of the tomatoes just because it's a disaster, but it's a work in progress. Since yesterday, this has just taken off even more. The plants are getting quite tall now. I definitely keep ripping the leaves as I'm walking by, so I got to be careful with that. But yeah, we've got some beautiful pepper leaves. Some of them are huge. Some of them are almost bigger than my hand. Lots of peppers coming down the pipeline. And then we've got the eggplants, you guys. The eggplants, and I keep showing you, they're just so massive. I can't even show you the whole plant. Very challenging. So I thought having a 1-vessel bucket with a 4-inch net pot would be enough room. I don't even know how I did it in the 4-site bucket before. I have no idea how I made that fit because the plants are just so huge. And then obviously we have our tomato plants that I just keep showing you guys. I cannot get over this. This looks so freaking good. I just want to eat one of those. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, but that orange one looks so freaking juicy right now. And then I've got just a bunch of fruit growing, you guys. These plants are doing much better than the ones I just showed you over here, which is probably because of the nutrients and the light. I went way more aggressive with the lights right off the bat. And with the nutrients, I wasn't afraid to use it. With these guys, I didn't use calcium or CalMag until it was too late, probably. Because if you look, for example, I've got a cluster of tomatoes right here, right? If you look at the size, I mean, it's hard to see the difference on a small camera. But if you look at the size difference of the actual tomatoes, they're larger for sure, and they look like they're just a much better product. So, you know, not only is it about growing your own food, but about growing good food, right? If I'm gonna be sharing it with people in my life, it's got to be good. I'm not gonna put my name on something that's crappy, you know. What's up, Corey? Good morning. And what is up? Oh, I thought it was fire in the 520. Any cannabis? No. Just food, but Monday, I'm a little intimidated by the plant. So got so many wonderful growers in the community that you know, I don't want to make you guys look bad and just be awesome at growing the plant. So I'm just kidding. No, you know what? I think I have my hands full right now. And especially after yesterday's live, I feel a little overwhelmed. You know, I appreciate the feedback always. Like, I love it. I don't get offended, but then it just makes me second guess myself, which is a good thing. But I really second guess myself. I'm like, have I been saying that this is aeroponics the whole time and it's not? Which I know it's aeroponics, and the thing is, yesterday we were talking about the need for air stones in my system, and so I did some reading on it, and you guys are right. Air stones are absolutely beneficial and necessary if you're running horticulture or hydroponics. But with my system, so I was reading more about air stones to understand if this is something I actually should be getting and using. And while it is something I should be using, I don't know how I would implement it in my system. 1.5k subs TFP. maybe we'll see, but that's how rumors start, Dot. But yeah, everyone, don't forget to sub. So what was I saying? Air stones. Because I have, what up, Crumblewig? Good morning. Yeah, because each bucket, oh, you guys, right? So air stones would be something I would use for these buckets. However, each air stone, you can have one large air pump that connects to all the air stones, but how would I run the lines? And so you need the bucket, the water in the bucket to be at a certain level. This is maybe half an inch of water. So I wouldn't be able to submerge the air stone, even the small ones. I wouldn't be able to submerge it in my bucket. And then it's like I could tuck the line under the lid, but then I can't close the lid. So then I would have to drill holes in every bucket and create a new entry point just to get air stones. And then the roots would get tangled in the air stones. And I just don't feel like that, unless I'm not understanding it properly. Maybe there are different types of setups, but what I'm gathering is that you have your air pump, and the air stones obviously don't work unless they're connected to the air pump. And then I would put one air stone in each bucket, because there's no point in putting it in my main res when, like, here's my pump filter. Is this even running? Hang on a sec here. This is my reservoir. I could put air stones in there, but the water gets circulated throughout the system, so I don't know how that would work. If what you are doing is working for you and your plants are healthy, stick with it. Totally fire in the 520, but I'm trying to get out of my own way. And I'm very much someone who is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But because I'm trying to evolve as a person, if there is a better way to do something, then I want to figure that out. And even though I don't really like researching, I like more of trial and error, I'm open-minded, and I know that certain things I have to research if I want to move my learnings along, you know, and not be stagnant. So I'm really not sure. Like, I don't want to be caught up in complicating things either, but I also want to be open to all the suggestions, because there are many things that would probably help improve my garden. And, you know, I'm open-minded to all of your suggestions, so I take it seriously. So when I thought about air stones and I started reading about the benefits, I was like, damn, you people are right. I should get some. So let's see what your feedback is. I really don't think you need them. Your roots are not staying in the same water. Okay. The stone should be in the bucket where the roots are, less. But if there's only half an inch of water in there, and you know, the roots are going to get tangled with the air stone, it's not going to be effective. In fact, I think it'll do more harm than good. The roots are in the water and need the air stone. So the thing is, the roots are suspended in air in my bucket, and then there's a little, like half an inch of water at the bottom. So I wouldn't really call it deep water culture. Like I know what you guys are talking about, and I've seen systems where they have like bubblers and stuff, but that's at least like 2 inches of water that the roots are sitting in. Mine are sitting in like not even half an inch. So there isn't room for an air stone. Air stones, to my knowledge, are only to aerate water. Once the water is sprayed or moving, it creates its own oxygen through movement and bubbles. Right, so my water, my nozzles mist, a very fine mist. Let me just wait. This timer is going to go on in 30 seconds, so we can look at it and I'll show you guys. Okay, you guys, this is why I get so confused. Corey's asking, have you ever tried deep water cultivation? So I'm assuming that the thing is deep water culture. And so many people tell me that this is deep water culture. I'm like, no, it's not. It's high pressure aeroponics. What the F is the difference? I know I sound like a total idiot because I should know what I'm talking about, but look, this is how it mists, right? So every 2 minutes for 10 seconds. So do I still need air stones? What's up, MK? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Tristan says if the roots are sitting in water, then yes, they need air stone. Not for you. I'm getting mixed. I don't do hydro. I'm a living soil kind of guy, so I'm zero help. That's okay. I'm just glad you're here. You're here for moral support. Yes, your water level is too low for an air stone. I overslept for the first time in months. That is wonderful, MKP. That sounds awesome. I would love to oversleep. You do not need air stones with your setup. What up, Warriors Nate? Wow, I can't read today. What up? I'm just going to call you Warrior. What up, Warrior? Cheers. So yeah, I was up early today, just sitting there Googling air stones, and I'm like, but how the F do I make this work? And then, you know, connecting it to this system would be one thing, but trying to get back there and take apart all the buckets and mid-grow, no. So that's where I get overwhelmed, and then I just stop researching, and then I just ask you guys for answers, because I don't know, I guess I get overwhelmed with too much of a learning curve. And so that's why I move slow with this journey. Like, I know I've learned a lot in 2 years, but I feel like if someone else were doing it, they'd probably pick it up faster. Stones are for deeper water. Okay, so we have a bit of a consensus, but what do you guys consider deep water culture then? Like, you know what? I have my phone here. Let me just quick Google. Like, where do you draw the line, right? Because half an inch of water that the roots are sitting in, is that, you know, a little enough of an amount of water to classify it as aeroponics? Fire in the 520 is asking, how big is that? It looks massive. It is 10 by 20 or 20 by 10, 200 square feet. It is a big tent. And some of the challenges I experience are maintaining the environment and all that kind of stuff. So I've been so focused on that I haven't even been worrying about like my water and other things I can do to okay, so I understand now. So aeroponics, the roots are suspended in air and get misted as roots are hanging, and they get plenty of oxygen because the roots are hanging. Deep water culture, the roots are suspended in water, so like hydroponics, except because you're aerating the water, it's not the same as hydroponics. Okay, so now people tell me that it's deep water culture. I'm gonna say, no, it's not. It's aeroponics. Actually, maybe it's kind of a hybrid, but it's not because deep water culture, right? Like I guess maybe we could call this shallow water culture. I don't know, but all right, so I'm glad I figured that out. I'm gonna figure out a chiller for my reservoirs, and I just have to figure out. I've been doing the past couple days cleaning. Yes, it's always good to clean up and get things organized. That's what I did yesterday in the grow tent. And you guys, I've been so focused on the grow tent. My house is a disgusting mess, so that's what I'm going to be doing today, is focusing on everything else but the grow tent. Literally, my whole life has become this tent that I've neglected every other area of my life, but I'm cool with it. Like, it's totally fine, because as long as the garden's good, we good. In the case of the roots sitting in water, I do not want to inhibit root rot, but the small percentage of roots in some water should not be a problem, but keep an eye on the root health sitting in water. Absolutely. And I also think that I should be, because of the way my setup is, there are other things that I could do. So I could trim my roots. So I know that's controversial. I know a lot of people don't recommend it, but definitely something I can do to try to create more oxygen and not have like a clump of root mass sitting in the water. If the setup you have is for you, then just go with it, but then I know nothing. And also, I guess I should also mention is, like, when I had these systems manufactured, I worked with a company that specializes in aeroponic equipment. I didn't just work with a random manufacturer and like design everything myself. I worked with people that specialize in this, right? So even though everyone's got different methods of growing and different tools they use to optimize based on what they're growing, I also relied on their knowledge and their expertise to, you know, stop me and say, whoa, hang on, with this system, we include a bubbler or an air stone or whatever it might be. So, yeah, however, actually, no, I was going to say, even with the towers, it's not necessary, because the water goes up the hose and gets distributed through irrigation pipe and trickles, right? So everything is moving, and the water is getting cycled and oxygenated, or whatever you want to call it. And I also add hydrogen peroxide. I add 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide for every 4-liter jug, or for every gallon. So again, the reason why I get over this stuff is because I don't freaking know, like, is this right? Is it wrong? Do I look like a total idiot? I don't know. I have no idea. And so a lot of the time, it's just about throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, while, you know, getting advice from you guys. And that's why I appreciate it so much. You guys are awesome. But you see, everything happens for a reason. Like, had that not been brought to my attention, I would have never really probably stopped and Googled the difference between aeroponics and deep water culture, which is probably the first thing I should have done when deciding how to grow food, is like understanding the difference. I just knew aquaponics, hydroponics, and aeroponics, but I didn't know about deep water culture, or even when people say NFT system, I don't know what that means, you guys. What is an NFT system? I know it's not like don't look like an idiot, you should see me, ha ha ha. I'm also hard on myself, so if I'm not perfect, I look like an idiot, but yeah, it's just, you know what, it's like I said, it's not easy going on a live and being like, yo, I have no idea what I'm doing, and then you got people telling you either you're wrong or you should do this. And to be honest, I love it, because that is the only way I learn. It's like the easy, this is like the perfect style for me, is like, rather than going on Google and figuring it out, just hopping on camera and people commenting and telling me what I should do. I'm not being facetious, like, I'm being serious. It's the best way for me to learn. I love it. Nutrient film / flow technique. Okay, good to know, good to know. Everything is a constant learning curve, no matter how long you've been doing something. Yes, and I get extremely overwhelmed. I like to be comfortable and cruise, so that's why I'm really trying to get out of my own way. And so when you guys suggest something, I take your suggestions seriously and I execute, because I don't know. Not only do I not know everything, I really don't know anything. So I mean, I know something, but you know. So yeah, it's sometimes I feel like my brain breaks a little bit and I short circuit, but it's all good. And thank you for saying that, MK. Appreciate it. Yes, you know, my plants do look great. However, they could be better, you know. What up, Palmetto? Good morning, good morning. Cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday. I've got an iced coffee today. These days, it's been so hot in the grow tent that it's just too hot for a hot coffee. So I cooled down with a little iced coffee, and that's it, you guys. So just gonna be working on trying to get some strawberry clones going. As soon as this one clone that I have here gets a little big, I think I'm gonna put it in the green grow tower, and I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to clone strawberries. Once you've got one plant in the grow tower, it's awesome. You got your plant in the grow tower, and then runner you just stick in the next foam collar next to it. I wonder if I could take this little guy here so I can show you. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So we've got our little strawberry clone here. You'd put it in the 2-inch net pot here, and then let's say that leaf down here turns into a runner, it'll go down to here, and then you would just stick it in this foam collar. It'll root, then you can clip the stem, and then so on and so forth, right? So it's such an easy way to clone that we're gonna start cloning in the green tower, and then we'll move on to, once we have our full amount of clones, then we'll pop them all in the yellow tower. We need mature plants and 80 plants, or like 40 really large ones, so that it covers the outer walls of the tower. Last week when we were cleaning up the tower, we discovered that light is actually permeating through the yellow color. So that doesn't happen with the green or the orange, it's just the yellow. So NFT is normally like a rectangle or circular plastic or metal conduit. Works well, but root growth can clog up the nutrient flow if not managed. Yes, I can see how that could happen. I think your system is pretty solid. I'd stick with what you're doing. It's working well. Yes, it is working well. I just need to figure out the nutrients. As much as I want to keep it organic just for my own benefit, I definitely might have to succumb to some kind of synthetic nutrients to help things pass through. It's using water soluble organic fertilizer is challenging in the system that I have, because it's like the lines are 1/8 of an inch, and you get a lot of gunk built up, and that can't be for your plants either, right? Shit that just sits there. So that's something I definitely have to work on and figure out. But other than that, I'm happy with this system. I actually really enjoy the high pressure aeroponics. You know, if you manage your lines clean, it is very cool to grow stuff in. You know, now that I'm understanding the difference between hydro and deep water culture and all that stuff, if I had to choose, even though I've never really tried the other formats or the other methods of growing, I think I would still choose aeroponics. I really enjoy it, and I think it's so much fun. And in the beginning, I couldn't even put this system together if you paid me. Now I could put it together with my eyes closed, and so that in itself is an accomplishment, you know. So I do love the system. I'm very comfortable with it, and once I get comfortable with things and familiar, I don't like to change it, right? So as soon as somebody said air stones, I thought that they're like little stones that you could just plop in each bucket, and that was it. But then when I started reading more into it, and you gotta plug it into an air pump, and then I was like, oh god, do I need 20 air pumps, 20 buckets? And then it says no, you can connect it to a large one, but then, you know, the cost, and then, man, you know, you could go on and on and on. But I do have a bit of an update for you guys. I've been getting a lot of questions about energy consumption of the grow tent. So I'm working on the costs, not only of the physical aspect of the grow tent, so, you know, the tent itself, and you know, if you wanted a setup like this or similar to this, what are you looking at cost-wise? The thing is, this came to fruition before things were so expensive. So that's what the delay is. It's taking me a bit of time to figure out how to, I guess I would have to price it at what things would cost today, for people to the information valuable. But anyways, I've got a meter that I plugged the entire tent's power supply minus the dehumidifier. However, I calculate on its own. So the tent, when everything is on, when the exhaust is on full blast, when the inline fans are on full blast, all the oscillating fans are on, all three are operating, the lights over the main grow, the bucket lights, the Spider Farmer lights are on, cranked to like 80%, and everything is running, everything is on. The total energy consumption minus the dehumidifier is it fluctuates between 1546 watts and 1600 watts, right? And that's 14 hours a day. So I have to go to my power provider and do the calculation, but so that's how much energy this tent is when it's fully operational in its waking hours. The dehumidifier, I have to run it on another breaker, so it's like 382 watts on its own, or 300 something, and that fluctuates, right? Only when the compressor's on, then it consumes more. So yeah, it's quite a bit. So we're talking like, I don't know, almost 2,000 watts being pulled total for the grow tent. So it's you can calculate that with your own power provider, your own energy costs, but it's yeah, it's quite a bit of power that it consumes. Because COVID was the time to buy all that stuff. Now everything has doubled in price. Yes, so this was purchased during that time, or just before, just during that time. And so now everything is like freaking quadrupled in cost. It's like, how do I even calculate this? People are gonna think that I paid that much for all this stuff, which is not the case, right? So how do you convey that? But I guess I would do both, right? Inflation and post-inflation. Absolutely, Tristan. So I do have battery supply units here, but they don't last very long. They're just there to hold things over for a few years, and then if those run out, then I have a small backup generator for the tent. Just, you know, a small generator. Good morning, Thai Life. Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, it's quite a bit of power, and it puts it into perspective, you know, how much I'm consuming. Yesterday we talked about maybe changing my lighting schedule so that, you know, it's daytime for the plants when it's nighttime for me, which is not peak hours. So obviously it still costs money, but the energy consumption costs a lot less when you're not running during peak hours, right? So maybe I consider that, or maybe Bowtie Life says, you're looking smart today. That is because I'm hanging out with you guys. It's Saturday morning and I get to start my day in the grow tent with you guys, which is always a good time. That's when I run my lights. Yes, I know a lot of people that do that. The thing is, I enjoy doing my lives at noon. I also enjoy being able to come in here during the day and work. I'm not very much of a night person, so you know, I would have to have a bit of overlap with peak hours so that I can still do stuff. Or, you know, we also threw around the idea of what about increasing the light and just reducing the hours. And so not really sure which way to go. What do you guys do that grow indoors? Super busy today. 3 tours to record and tons to edit. Can't wait to see, Bowtie. Can't wait to see what you got growing on. I really appreciated your strawberry video. Thank you so much for all that information. What up, Galaxy? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. We're just talking energy consumption. You have a blessed day too, Bowtie. Energy consumption and ways that I reduce the costs. Because, you know, it does increase power bill quite a bit. Not a crazy amount, but it, you know, I didn't realize the difference in cost until I cranked the lights recently. And then I'm like, oh shit, that's a difference. Yes. Electricity is definitely going to be going up. Everything's going to be up, Tristan. So, yeah. Strawberry video was so much fun to edit. Pulling in 4 years of video onto one. Bowtie, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like going down memory lane, but it's also work too, because then you get caught up in like the video from 4 years ago, you know, oh yeah, remember that? And then, you know, you get distracted and forget to finish editing, and it's a whole thing. But I've done that before, and it's a work. I've only been doing this for 2 years, so I only have 2 years of video footage to go. But kudos to you, because editing, it's really fun, but it's not easy. Les suggests solar panels. But again, that's an upfront investment, and I don't got anything left after this grow tent, you guys. Just kidding. But if you like, share, and subscribe, then Fresh Princess will get some solar panels. But I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it's not. That's why I'm so like I'm putting pressure on myself, because you know, if these lights are going to be cranked all day long, I better have both bucket systems full. There's no point in consuming that kind of energy and just running one bucket system. I have to justify the cost. So understanding how much energy this consumes kind of gives me a baseline where I should be with what I'm pumping out of the grow tent, right? So all 3 towers should be growing at all times. The fact that I've got 2 empty grow towers right now is really, really bad. I should have lettuce pumping out of all of these, because now what's happening is I don't have lettuce. I'm paying for what, you know, for this environment to grow lettuce, and I got to drive to the grocery store, pay gas, pay the stupid whatever carbon tax or whatever the heck now it is, and then go to the store and buy lettuce. And not only that, I need to waste my time washing it, and that is a whole process in itself, because this lettuce is like, you know, not clean, which is fine. I'm okay with the bugs, because that means maybe not as many pesticides, but just like the time and money, I just have to keep things going in this grow tent, because yeah, I just have to justify the costs. A gerbil on a wheel, LOL. When you get your solar panels at least 10%, whatever they say you should have, we added close to 20% and are happy we did over 3 years later. That's amazing, Bowtie. I'm sure it definitely helps reduce overhead costs. Start a membership program for your channel. That'll help you with some funds. I'm going to start a GoFundMe. Fresh Princess needs a chiller and other stuff. Good morning, G Mama. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We're up and at it early today. You know, morning is for the grow tent and afternoon is for getting the rest of my life back together because I've been so focused on the grow tent that I've kind of dropped the ball everywhere else. So just collect myself today, and then tomorrow we'll be back at it with the scheduled programming. But I will be checking out the Urban Gardener at 2 p.m. And so yeah, that was really interesting yesterday to plug that meter in. So now I know how much energy this tent consumes. I have an exact number for it. And yeah, moving forward, it'll just help me understand what I need to do in order to justify the cost of the grow tent and make it all worthwhile, right? So it adds a bit of pressure, but that's how I operate. Unfortunately, without a lot of pressure, I don't, you know, get myself together, get my act together. Good morning, Lampros. Hello from Greece. Wow, welcome, welcome. I'm off and not just off in the head. Thanks so much for being here, Bowtie. Have a wonderful day and happy Saturday to you. Mings is the best for me and my plants too. Absolutely, G Mama. I love spending mornings in the grow tent, but I often get too lost in here, and I just end up spending my whole day in here, so it becomes not just the morning but the entire day. Fire in the 520, how much power are you consuming? So I have the whole tent minus the dehumidifier fluctuates between 1546 to 1600 watts, and the humidifier is plugged in separately, and that's about 300 watts. So I'm pulling about 2,000, just under 2,000 watts total in this grow tent when everything is in operation. All systems are low, and the dehumidifier is running, and but if I turn the vacuum on, that's it, the breaker trips. So I've got to power everything down, like I'm maxed out. I can't take any more on what's currently in the tent, which is why the dehumidifier had to be plugged in separately. But yeah, we're pulling just under 2,000 watts. So yeah, guys, it's quite a bit of power after all is said and done. So that's why I'm mentioning, you know, I've got to make it worthwhile and make it count. You know, if I'm going to be pulling that kind of power on a regular basis and paying for it, then there's no excuse I shouldn't be buying any produce from the grocery store. So we got to level up, which is why I'm thankful for all your comments and feedback in the chat, right? Because all these are going to help me get to a point where I optimize everything and I get the highest yields possible in order to just make for a efficient and cost-effective operation. What is my kilowatt cost wherever you are? I don't know. I gotta go back and look it up. The cost just went up, so I have to look. But yeah, I'm working on a video of the total cost of pretty much everything if you're looking for a similar setup. So stay tuned for that, and I'll include that information in there. But I'm considering just change the timing to when it's not peak hours. A lot of energy providers or power providers have, you know, peak hours and then a discounted rate. So, yeah. But yeah, at least I have a number now, and I know. So now it gives me, like I said, just a baseline to go off of, so that I know how much produce I need out in order to completely wipe that cost from the grocery store. You know, it makes no sense running the whole tent and then also paying the grocery store. Lettuce isn't, you know, it's not going to break but it's not cheap. So why am I paying for it from the grocery store right now? I know it's just a small like break. It's only a few weeks, but still, like, it doesn't justify. I should be focusing on succession planting and getting my act together. Sounds like you're on a 2K breaker. Yes, that's what my lung room is. I use about 1 watts and it's going up. Yes, Corey. So I wasn't using that much, and then I cranked my lights, and then that's when things changed, because you know, I've been talking about monitoring the end. I did a spectral reading with my pulse, and that really put things into perspective, right? So I increased the lights, and that's when it all went south, or if we're talking cost. But anyways, guys, so things to consider. It's all a part of indoor growing. It just is what it is, right? However, there are benefits. So let's say it's 15 cents a kilowatt, you'd paying 30 cents an hour at 2K watts. Yes. Let there be light. Absolutely, Tristan. Let there be freaking light. Growing your own means you know what's in it. Store-bought products, so many chemicals, etc. going into your body, no good. Absolutely. You can't put a price on freedom. You can't put a price on good health. But you can put a price on energy consumption and stuff like that. So, you know, that being said, there are ways to make things more efficient in this tent and increase my yields. And so there's a way to achieve both, you know, grow my own and also justify the cost. So that's going to be a part of the journey. So stick around as I go through it and I navigate things, you guys. But anyways, Alexa, stop. I have my reminder on. But anyways, so that being said, I gotta get going. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's the weekend. Enjoy it. No matter what you're doing, I hope it's positive. And we will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Come hang out with me. We're probably gonna start seeds and try actually transferring some stuff into the grow tower. It's going to be a good day tomorrow. And oh, I might figure out the hot sauce today, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let you guys know when we're doing that, but it is gonna happen. We're doing a hot sauce live with the Chinese fiber peppers. I still have them. I haven't used them yet. So have a wonderful day, everybody. MK sounds so much fun. Thanks so much, Dottie. Thanks, Les. Fire in the 520. Thanks, everybody. I can't give everyone shout outs because I don't want to forget everyone, but you guys are so amazing. I appreciate this community so much, and thank you so much for helping start my day in such a wonderful way. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Cheers. And don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Yes, MK. Bye, everybody.